welcome to Just Us Thinking. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm your co-host, Rebecca.
And I'm your AV guy, Mikey.
And I believe change is in the air.
Change is always in the air.
Unfortunately, it is.
Yep.
Which is leading us to today's episode.
It is, yeah.
So, change, the good, the bad.
And the ugly.
Yep, there's a lot. Change is a part of life, okay?
It is, yeah.
If you don't like it, you do kind of have to still deal with it.
Yep, deal with it, get over it, and move on.
However, some changes are good.
Yeah, some are bad.
Some are bad. So, what, I don't know. What do you want to start with?
Well, this coming weekend, we have daylight savings time.
Yep, so we change our clocks back.
Yeah,
or
we
do we go back or forward? What are we doing on this one?
I think it's spring forward.
Spring forward, so we lose an hour.
Yeah.
So this is the one everybody hates.
Yeah.
Because you lose an hour of sleep.
Yes, I need all the sleep I can get.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I understand why daylight savings time happens. I understand why it happened, let me put it that way.
Okay.
So back before electricity, you had farmers and, different things where they had to adjust their schedule because they had to use the light. When the sun came up, that's when they had to adjust, things to happen.
Okay, that makes sense.
I hate to say, but modern electricity has kind of put daylight savings time as a kind of a non-point.
Okay.
So now here's the other thing that I don't understand with daylight savings time. If you change it, so farmers, I got to ask, the rooster, crows at the crack of dawn, right?
Right. It's supposed to anyway.
Right. So do the roosters, change an hour? Are we do we have to reset? Do we have to reset the roosters an hour?
Maybe, yeah. That would be kind of funny.
I want to say
drop them on their head.
Drop them on their head, yeah. Bonk them and say,
hard reboot.
Hard reboot, yeah. I guess that would be. I just don't think there's a point for daylight savings times anymore.
Yeah, I don't really either. I'm tired of losing an hour of sleep too.
Yeah, and here. You got to change all your goddamn clocks. And here's the thing. Like, your cell phones automatically change, so I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, it's the one in the cars that bother me.
They don't, because I just look, I'm like, yep, I didn't reset that. I know, So I know for, like, daylight savings time that my clock is an hour off in my car. That Monday after daylight savings time really sucks.
Oh, yeah. It always
does. Because you're just off.
Yeah.
And if you forget to change a clock or something like that, you kind of panic all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you look at it, especially this one, the spring one.
Yeah, because even getting into the car and you're like, you've got to be somewhere in like at 8:00, and you're like, oh, it's 9:00. You're like, ah, shit.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I still have time.
Yeah, you have that mini heart attack right there, and then reality sets over. Oh, I didn't reset that.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess it's good to get your heart going in the morning.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. I still think it's time to go. I still think daylight savings time, that is time to end.
Yeah, I don't really get the point in it either anymore. So.
Yeah.
No.
So that's daylight savings time. So don't forget to change your clocks if you have any of those manuals. Your oven will still say whatever time it is, and so will your microwave, because we know nobody ever friggin' changes those.
Right.
So
you just wait till next year when they, click back or I guess reset. Well, not really reset, but you're like, oh, okay, yeah, now the time's right.
I had a buddy that I for a moment I was impressed, because I looked at his microwave, and this was a long time ago. I looked at his microwave, and it had the right time. I'm like, holy cow, you know how to reset? You know how to set your clock on the microwave? And he goes, no. I said, well, your clock's right. He goes, yeah. I'm like, how did that happen? And he goes, oh, well, when you plug it in, it flashes 12. So I made sure I plugged it in right at 12.
Wow. Wow.
He's-
How?
He,
That's a good one.
he set an alarm. He set it all. He had it all timed out. And when 12 o'clock rolled in, he plugged in the microwave, and it was set for the right time.
Wow. That's crazy. He got crazy lucky.
Well, I mean, it's not crazy lucky. It flashes 12. You just wait long enough, you could do it. Like I said,
I wouldn't have the patience for that.
I wouldn't either, but I thought it was funny. I was like, I was impressed. I'm like, you know how to set this? He goes, no. I just plug it in. But what do you do if the power goes out? He goes, I wait till I get back in until 12. Oh, jeez.
I wouldn't think it's that hard, is it?
The older ones used to be harder. It's one of those things that, newer ones are a lot easier.
Okay.
But yeah, back in the day, changing your oven or microwave was like, crazy.
Oh, wow. That is crazy.
Like resetting the time on a VCR, that was a pain in the ass too.
Oh, yeah.
Then some alarm clocks.
Or your alarm clock, yeah.
Alarm clocks where you didn't, like when you push the button, it like fast forwarded to the time, and then you had to hit the reverse button and it goes back, and you have to you had to time it just right.
Yeah. Those are bad.
Yeah.
Those are not fun.
That's what pisses everybody off with daylight savings time, is when you had to do that kind of crap.
Yeah. I always remember, having to set it back the night before, and it was just like, we got to change all these clocks, and
Yep.
and then I'm going to think it's the wrong time, and I'm going to go to bed early or something.
Well, yeah, because daylight savings time kicks over at like 2 a.m., right?
Yeah, something like that.
So at 2 o'clock, it turns to 3 o'clock automatically, magically. It's that quick. Nobody's up at 2 goddamn o'clock in the morning to start changing the clock, so you have to change them earlier or later.
Yep.
And it throws you off. I
yeah.
just think it's a stupid practice right now. So, all right. I think that's enough on daylight savings time. What's other we got?
Oh, this is going to be a fun one for you.
Oh.
You might hear a little rant on this one, but restaurants and changing their menus.
Chili's. I'm talking to you, Chili's. I know you got the baby back ribs, but you have thoroughly pissed me off.
You have.
We went to Chili's.
Yeah.
And I got pissed off. That's what happened. So Chili's decided. So Chili's, if you didn't know it, and if you don't have a Chili's,
Well, and it's been a while too since
while.
they've done it.
Yeah. Chili's used to have a 2 for $20 meal menu.
Yep.
So when you go in there as a couple, which a lot of people do,
Right.
you go in there and you pick the 2 for $20. You guys you generally get an appetizer, and then you each get a meal. Sometimes it's smaller portion meals because it's the deal.
Right.
Which was great.
Yeah, which is really nice because their portions are way too big most of the time.
I hate restaurant portion size. They're portion size to make us get fat.
They need to start changing those.
I agree. That would be a change I would like. A change on restaurant menus, smaller portions. And you know what? You don't have to just say, okay, where do we go that they have the... we'll cover that in a minute. I want to still crucify Chili's here. You guys got rid of your 2 for $20 menu. And I get it. I understand that, it very well may have not been cost effective to do that at $20 anymore. I get it. So if it was 2 for $25, or if you had to pay a little bit more, newsflash, Chili's, Applebee's does the same thing, and they have a tiered program. Get with their program. Maybe that person, maybe you need to contact Applebee's to see how you do it, because that might help you guys out. Otherwise, I have to take a page out of my buddy, the Proud American Patriot podcast, and say, fuck you. Because I couldn't find anything on the menu I liked.
Yeah.
I was upset. I was like... And then here's the thing: we're trying to eat a little. We're trying to lower our calorie intake.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but I want to eat a little less. So generally, when we go to other restaurants, we share a meal.
Yeah.
So smaller portion size would be great. I think you're right. Okay. So chili. Bad change was taking the 2 for $20 off the menu. A good change would be a tiered system. or you add a lighter menu,
Yeah.
or like smaller portions or half sizes or something like that. That would be. I mean, that was what I would think.
I would think so too. I
No.
mean, it's just, I ended up not being able to eat all my food,
Right.
bring it home, and then forget about it.
Right. Right.
So it sucks.
Now, the other thing that we do is, especially like if we go to, there's a place called Summer Kitchen.
Okay. Yep.
I like your menu. I like they have lighter fares, right?
They do. Not on all of their items, but there's a select items that they have the lighter fare.
Yeah, so it's basically a smaller portion.
Which, I think I've had both, and I don't know how it's lighter, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look next time we go.
Yeah, just pay attention next time and see
Yeah.
how much lighter it is, or it very well could just be a smaller price and they're just giving you the same amount of food.
Maybe, yeah.
That would be that's stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's Chili's, man. I swear to God, get your shit together. I'm not happy. I used to love Chili's.
I did too, yeah.
I used to love it. We go there, we could split something. I get prices go up. I mean, if it was a 2 for $30 and you do that or something like that, I get that. I understand prices go up. I get 2 for $27 at Applebee's.
Right.
You shouldn't have removed it off the menu.
Yeah, I just always wonder why they did that.
Because they're dumbasses. That's
Okay.
why. Chili's, you're dumbasses. That's what I gotta say to you.
Okay.
So here's the thing: when they change that, they don't understand. They've lost a lot of customers doing that. I will tell you, Chili's. I'm telling you right now, we've decided to go to Applebee's instead of your restaurant because of that change. Okay, you have impacted your customers. Stop doing stupid changes. Make good changes. Up the price a little bit, something like that. Take some stuff out there that's a little costlier off that menu and offer different items. I'm okay with them switching it up like that.
Right. That would be a good change.
I'm not opposed to change. I'm opposed to stupid changes. That's the difference.
Or removals.
Well, I'm okay with removals. I mean, if it's not selling good,
Yeah.
it's not selling good. So you got to trim the fat somewhere.
Well, yeah, that's
So,
true. Okay.
I don't know. And, I will say what is it? What's the other one? Texas Roadhouse that we go to quite a bit.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now we generally will get something and we split our meal.
Right. Yep. We'll get a bigger steak and then just split it.
Right. That's generally what we do. And then we each get a side, and that ties us over. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good portion. So
there's a lot, like your dad, he can't eat all the stuff that is on that food.
Yeah.
Half the food goes to waste.
Mm-hmm.
That's wasteful.
Yeah.
That-
I don't understand how these places haven't picked up on that yet.
Yeah. Well, the problem is people are starting to eat more and more, and we're getting fatter and fatter.
Yeah, that's true.
America has a issue with, we love food, don't get me wrong, but our portion size here is out of control.
It is, yeah.
That would be a good change that needs to happen.
Okay.
There needs to be a change there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy. So, all right. So you tell me, who else has pissed me off? What's next on our list?
That would be Disney.
Oh yeah, Disney. Come on, get your shit together too. You and Chili can go have a love relationship with fuck you. That's what you can do. Okay, so I have several
Several problems.
Disney. I have several problems with. Okay. So,
all right, what's your first one?
What's wrong? Mikey's going to say something.
I mean, I only have one problem.
What's your one problem?
The live action. That's my only problem.
Okay, yeah, so let's start there. That's a good starting point right there.
Yeah.
They're making all their animated movies are turning into live action. I don't know.
It would be okay if they some of them make them not so creepy. Some of them have just been super creepy.
Okay, you got to elaborate on which
ones
one.
have been creepy?
I can't remember right offhand, but there was one that they did. It was really creepy.
Oh, you
Maybe it was Pinocchio or something.
Oh yeah, Pinocchio
Oh.
was kind of creepy. That
Yeah,
was
like-
the donkeys in that when they turned them into donkeys.
Oh yeah.
That looked really creepy.
Yeah.
So it was that weird like live action CGI bullshit that they were doing that just was weird.
There was another one too where I was like,
Dumbo.
Dumbo
was-
wasn't that creepy.
Dumbo was a little bit. So here's my problem with it. So they're taking these animated movies and they're turning into live action.
right.
Now I'm okay with some of them going live action. I'm okay with some live action. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be the one that sits here and say, don't change it. It's I understand certain things could be changed.
I'll do it because I don't think they should fuck with stuff that they like were so good at before.
No, well, okay, okay. Then you say it. Okay.
Like, don't change what you've already done. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I guess,
Make new ideas, I guess.
yeah, make new ideas or make them, I don't know.
So here's my problem with changing the animated movies to live action.
Okay.
Here's my problem with it. It loses its magic.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we grew up on these movies and like just the nostalgic factor just isn't there.
Well, and the problem is when they do live action, they change a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, we could go through a laundry list of their stuff. I will tell you, Lion King should never been a live action.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest thing they did.
I think the live action actually was pretty good.
Fuck you.
Wow, jeez. Okay.
Did you watch the original?
Yes, I've watched the original Lion King and the live action.
How do you really? You think that piece of shit was worth it?
I thought it was pretty good.
Wow.
We'll have to go back and watch it because I don't remember watching it.
I thought it was horrible. I mean, it wasn't like a train wreck with a fatality horrible.
Okay.
But it was this side of that fence.
What was so horrible about it?
It lost a lot of its magic. I mean, it lost, do you remember some of the highlights of the cartoon of the animated version? Pumbaa dancing.
Oh yeah.
And Pumbaa and Timon dancing and they had to lead all those other people away and they're like,
Yeah.
you can't do that in a live action.
Oh, that's true.
The scene where Mufasa was hanging off the cliff and Scar lets him go in the animated version, that was like, oh my god. The live action just sucked.
The live action made it cooler.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No.
See, and that's the problem. I guess they're trying to do it to, kind of cater to the younger generation, I guess. Is that what they're trying to do?
I think what they're trying to do is Disney wants people to think that animals can talk and you could go up and touch a lion and play with it and then it'll eat you. I think that's what Disney's trying to do here. Some dumbass is going to watch The Lion King live action and they're like, oh, he's just a king of the jungle. I saw him playing with Pumbaa and Timon, and I'm going to go pet the lion. And then that lion's going to eat them, or they're going to...
You're going to see him on the news.
Yeah.
Local man eaten alive by lion.
Yeah.
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 Good.
Or they're
Okay.
going to be like, oh, look, Timon is in the cage next to him. Let me let him out and put him in there with the lion. And the lion's going to eat him. They're like, oh, you didn't do that in the movie. Well, no, dumbass. A lion will eat one of those in real life. I want to say that I guess that's my problem. My problem is you have stupid people,
Yeah.
and that's when you're trying to put the reality in there. You cause stupid people to do stupid things, and they don't need any help.
Yeah.
They're already doing stupid things.
That's true. Okay.
Now, as I said, that's my problem with The Lion King. Now, Aladdin was another. Now, Aladdin, the live action, I wasn't that upset about.
Okay.
I think with a lot of our stuff, we have changed a lot of stuff. My issue with Aladdin was it's hard to see anybody else playing Genie than
Yeah.
Robin Williams. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, he was so good.
He was.
And
Ah,
he improvised so well in that movie. It's not funny.
yeah. I don't think it was Will Smith that did him, right?
It was Will Smith that did it.
Okay.
He didn't do a horrible job. I can't crucify him for doing it. I didn't think it was that bad.
Okay.
But there's just something like the magic carpet ride, the interaction with the tiger.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. When you take a live animal and you put them in that kind of environment, this is why circuses are getting their shit that they're getting, because
Yeah.
I mean, lions and tigers and bears, oh my, are generally not something you want to, like, I don't know, I'm sure they're trainable to a certain point, but that's still a wild animal.
Right. You still run that risk of them hurting you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and here's the problem. If any of those animals on set hurts anybody or heaven forbid, kills somebody because you put them in that position, they're put down.
All right.
I don't think they used real live animals, did they?
I will have to double check.
Just like how Twilight didn't.
Well, no, Twilight was all CGI.
Well, that's
Yeah.
fair.
I want to say that I think they used a little bit of it. I think they still use a little bit of live animals to do some of that stuff, because they have to, even if they don't do it in the movie. What they used to do is the animators or the people that were doing all the computer work for the animals would have to watch the animal walk around to see the actual movements. Disney was really good at making their animated look really, really lifelike.
Yeah. They did such a good job with their animated.
Now,
It's sad that they're.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, okay, I could see that. I mean, I could see that. If you're just having humans,
That's
I
a
could
little
see
bit
that.
more believable than an animal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Cinderella, how are you going to animate the mice? That's just... And then it's a mouse. I don't want to see a real mouse. A cartoon mouse I'm good
Yeah.
with. Charlotte's Web. Are you going to have a live version of that? How creepy would that be for a friggin'
Oh,
spider?
yeah.
Oh,
No.
no.
Are you going to
No.
zoom in? I mean, arachnophobia, here we come.
Well, no,
You
didn't
know.
they do a live action Charlotte's Web?
Yes.
Oh.
I was pretty okay with the spider in that one.
Well, I don't think... See, and that's the changes, is I want to say they didn't really... When they did the Charlotte's Web live action... and I don't think that was Disney. That was someone else. But that live action for Charlotte's Web, they didn't get a lot of the spider personality or a lot of the stuff you got from the cartoon.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I will tell you, my favorite was, and I loved it. I loved the ending where all her babies kind of flew off and said, "Oh, bye, Mom," and it was all great. And I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." It never dawned on me that those are real spiders going out in the world that are going to be like in my living room. Because it was a cartoon. I knew it was fake. I
Yeah.
know those aren't real spiders.
Yeah.
Now you put that into a real thing, you're like, oh my God, I could have a spider in my house that has laying eggs and have thousands of babies like that.
Oh, thank you for
In
putting
my
that
house.
thought in my head.
Well,
Thanks.
you're welcome. It was in my head, so I
Okay.
had to share.
Great.
I am okay with certain live action. I could understand some, but start coming up with new ideas.
Yeah.
Little Mermaid, that live action, I don't think it was horrible.
Okay.
I can't say that they're like, oh my God, these are the worst thing ever that I've ever seen, because I watched some really stupid things.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear
Yeah,
is one of them.
that was one.
Yeah, that was a whole nother category. And I don't think they should have had a bear in that either, because that's just, yeah. Again, working with animals, bad. Bears eat people.
Okay.
Don't give them lunch.
Back to the Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid. It wasn't horrible, but it did lose some of the magic that the cartoon had.
Yeah.
And the problem with when they remake something like this, I hate to say it, but when when you remake something, if the original was so good, you're not going to improve on that.
Right. Don't change it up. Make it honor the original by doing it good.
Well, no, that's why I don't think you should be doing those remakes in live action. Some of those were really, really good works. You can't. You lose the original. That would be like if we're doing our podcast and we have this really, really great show, and then we're like, you know what? That was really great. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
You can butcher the hell out of it.
Yes, you can.
So we redid our origin show.
Okay.
Okay, so we kind of went back and did our origin here.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the first one, if you go back and listen and watch it, was horrible. I was like, we were new. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were still trying to find our on-air chemistry, I guess.
Yeah. And that's part of the change process too. When you start something, you get better at it.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that's why we went back and we said, yeah, we could redo this. Well, there's no way we could make it worse than the first one.
No way.
There's no way. It was that bad.
Yeah.
Go listen to it. You tell me.
Okay.
But stop doing these animated to live action. I guess that's my biggest deal.
Okay.
With Disney. I'm gonna leave it there. Disney, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
We always do, and that's what you like.
Yes, we do. So then we're also going to get into the changing seasons.
So this is one of the... Okay, so this is the good and the bad here too, right?
Yeah.
So I am a warm climate person.
Yes, you are.
So I love spring because it starts to get warm.
Yep.
I love summer because it's warm.
Yeah.
I'm okay with fall because it's starting to get colder. It's a little easier depending on how bad the summer is. I could deal with fall. Winter could go fuck itself.
Yeah. This like -20 stuff that we've been having the last few years has just like, oh my God, it's been horrible.
Now, there are some people that are just the opposite of me. I know you guys exist, you psychopaths, but there are some people that like the cold.
See, now,
I like winter and fall.
Yeah, psychopath.
I like fall. I don't like winter as much. I said, the last couple of years have just been horrible here. And I think it's all over, though.
I liked winter when I lived in California.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you live in California, you like winter because you could drive to winter, and when you're tired of winter, you just leave.
Yeah.
Florida, you're the same way. If you get tired of winter, if you want to go somewhere to experience winter, you go. When you're tired, you go home.
Yep.
When winter comes to your house, you have no choice.
Yeah. No, you don't.
I tried not to open the door, but that bitch came in anyway.
It came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Really bad.
I'm okay. I mean, some snow I'm okay with. I don't like the cold, bitter wind, and I don't like the cold temperatures. But that's just me. Other people are like that. We'll go out there and it's like snowing and it's like, 0 degrees, and I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, a sweatshirt, a jacket, a hoodie. I'm like layered like they did in, where I can't move my arms.
Yeah.
Because it's so goddamn cold.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about buying heated clothes now because those exist, and that's what I'm going to do next year.
Oh yeah, the heated hoodie.
Yeah. That's where I'm going. So, but then I look over this and this son of a bitch is walking around in shorts.
Shorts, t-shirt, and flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like,
with 4 feet of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like frostbite. Like,
yeah, no
really,
shit.
like, what the hell?
I have to go shovel a driveway, and I'm like, okay, I shovel for 5 minutes, come in, and I'm like trying to get warm. And this son bitch is out there in a t-shirt whistling, you know,
Zippity doodah.
zippity doodah and friggin' in shorts and flip flops, and he's like having a grand old time,
Yeah.
you know, shoveling snow. And I'm looking at him going, "You kill people for you have people buried in your basement. You have to. You can't like this and be like that without killing people.
Yeah.
You have to be a psychopath."
I mean, I just don't know. I don't get it. Like,
No,
frostbite.
I'll never
That would
be.
hurt.
That will never be me. If you're that person, good for you. I don't know what kind of blood flows through your veins, but it ain't the right kind of blood.
That's just, I don't get it. I
It's
mean,
those
even when it's like,
those Canucks, those friggin' Canucks have that like maple syrup for blood up there that like is thicker that handles shit like that.
the who?
The Canucks, Canadian people.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what a Canuck is?
I've never heard that term, no.
Oh my God, you need to get out more.
I know.
All right, so seasons changing. I'm okay, and I'm okay with a mild winter. I don't know. I live in the wrong place.
I just, I don't mind a couple inches here and there, but it's like when you start talking feet, it's like, no, thank you. Like, just go away.
That's perfect to make snowmen, snow angels, and make a bunch of snowballs to throw at your friends.
Well,
So,
that's true, but
I've got to ask, how many inches you want, baby?
none.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're no fun.
2, maybe 3.
That's it?
Yeah. Maybe 4. I don't know. I don't like snow.
I'm not talking about snow anymore, baby. Oh. Yep, Mikey's growing up. He kicks in with the laugh now. Mikey got it. Mikey gets a joke like that now.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads into our next subject.
So Mikey doesn't know what's on our list here, really. So
Yeah.
Their next subject. There's a great lead into
I
it.
know, yeah.
All right, what is that? You go for it.
All right. So we're talking about, the good old life changes, growing up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
getting older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the getting older part sucks, but
Well, I guess now, here's the thing: change, good or bad, it's perspective.
well, that's true. Yeah.
So a lot of these are perspective, and we're giving
Okay.
you our perspective. Life changes. So we're dealing with that with Mikey.
We are. Mikey, how do you feel about getting a growing older?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good word.
Yeah. Growing up, there's, I guess and I guess it's a problem with this generation, right? The newer generation that we have now. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guys, but I need a little more ambition and motivation.
Okay. Yeah. That's true.
When I was growing up, I remember when getting a car, getting modes of transportation, even a bike or a skateboard back then,
Yeah.
getting out of the house was kind of fun for me.
Right. I mean, that's what I looked forward to, like I'm like, ooh, let's get out of the house. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's, I don't ever remember, like really wanting to be at home.
Right. And
Or
I do.
And not necessarily wanting to be at home, but I was always out wanting to like do stuff.
I agree. I was the same way. To me, that was freedom. That was when you grow up, you're always, your parents kind of dictate everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Once you get to, 14, 15, 16 years old, that's when you have a bike, you're going over to friends' houses, you're starting to drive, you're starting to get a little bit more of that freedom.
Yeah.
And I think that was what I liked the most of that time.
Me too. I mean, it's crazy. It's so different now.
And yet nowadays, I mean, and it's Mikey, you're not really, you're not like go get them to drive, are you?
No, I'm not.
See, that's the complete opposite that we were.
Yeah.
And we have other
my
friends.
nephews were the same way too. I guess when they started driving, they live in a different environment than here.
Well, yeah, because they live in Virginia, so they don't have the snow that we do.
Yeah. But I guess they have to like for school, for example, they have to travel further than Mikey does. So I could understand that because the traffic there sucks. I
Right.
hate driving there.
Well, I have to disagree with you there because I grew up and I learned how to drive in San Diego,
Okay.
which is far bigger than where your nephews live.
Right.
And I remember, I mean, I learned in a big city on how to drive, and I still wanted to drive.
Oh, okay.
You could still drive to a friend's house. You could still go do things without. Maybe they didn't go to drive to school, but maybe driving down the street to even going to grab McDonald's or something down the street to eat.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
true.
would do. They don't want to. The kids this generation doesn't want to even do that anymore.
Yeah.
Especially now that it could be delivered to you.
Right. Now that you got DoorDash
So
or Grubhub.
now that's a change that has happened as well.
Yeah.
But that's again both good or bad.
Yeah.
When you're working from home and you don't have time to run out and grab something, having something delivered is great.
Yeah.
But it also gets you in bad habits.
Yes, it does. I think we've gotten really bad about that, unfortunately.
Right. But I guess that sense of freedom they don't have it in this generation.
Yeah.
I think your niece is the same way.
Yeah, my nephew. Yeah, well, my niece can't technically drive right now, but
Yeah, but she doesn't really want to, does she? Or is she wanting to now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you have other friends that have kids, and they've been the same way, right?
Right.
It's like you have to. I was like, I wanted to find my first car. I wanted. That was a first big decision that I was going to pick.
Yeah.
And now they're like, whatever. You almost have to like, here's your car.
Yeah.
The problem is we've come full circle. That happened.
Yeah.
I was wanting to go find my car, and it was basically, here's your car. I'm like, that's bullshit. I wanted to pick it. And now we're the opposite with Mikey, right, Mikey?
Yeah.
I mean, we literally just gave him an ultimatum right before we started the show that said, you have until X date. Otherwise, we're just going to go get you a car, and that's what you're going to have.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Rebecca went crazy on it.
Sorry, Mikey.
But I mean, I guess there's no real desire to do that. I mean, I don't know what the holdup is, Mikey. You're in this generation. Why is this a problem?
I mean, I just don't really want to drive with the other drivers out there.
Well, you're going to have to interact with people. That's part of life.
Yeah.
You can't saying I don't want to interact with other people is not good behavior. You can't self-isolate for that forever. I mean, you have to interact with other people. You have to learn. If we don't live in a city here. Now, if we lived in New York, I could understand that.
Right.
If we lived in a big city where there mass transit and it was a different environment, don't get me wrong, I could understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
But when you live in a town like Omaha or some, Newport News or stuff like that, where you can't just, there's not a bus or a train or trams or all this crap that, like subway system and all this stuff. If you don't have all that and you live in a rural area,
mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to do that. I mean, Mikey, you're not. That's just not a case for you.
Well, and I think unfortunately for him, unfortunately going back to COVID, I mean, he was stuck at home for a couple years doing school from home. I mean, that was kind of isolating for him. So I could understand, not wanting to get out there.
Yeah.
That was like the norm for him.
Well,
and that, I mean, we never went through anything like that when we were,
that's true.
I mean, it sucks.
Well, it does. But I mean, I don't know. I guess Mikey would just no real desire to drive, huh?
I really don't, but I mean,
You're gonna have to.
I know.
Now,
I think once you get that over that initial like fear of it, I think you'll enjoy it. I really think that'll kind of bring you out of your shell on that. It'll be good.
so is that what it is? Is it a fear, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like, because I've seen like one too many stupid drivers or one too many crashes, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and I get that. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but here's the thing: if you live your life in fear of like life happening, life doesn't happen. I mean, I hate to say it, or I don't hate to say it. I like to say that, you got to live your life. You can't let fear dictate you not doing something. We all do it to a certain point. I mean,
Right.
there's a few things that, and we're going to start mentioning them on the podcast as you go through, because, there's some delicate issues that, that people go through. And then, because you're worried about, pissing someone off or something like
Yeah.
that. And then you have to weigh the pros and cons. And so I mean, I understand that's what happens. We've been playing with, kit gloves here quite a
Yeah.
while.
We have.
Those gloves are going to be coming off. So
Okay.
you're going to see some more information come out. So if people don't like it, or certain people I know aren't going to like it, I don't care.
Okay.
I can't decide not to live my life with worried about how other people feel. Yeah, I can't live in fear.
Right.
And
point.
We're going to touch on some of that behavior in some upcoming episodes too.
Okay.
I have some really good shows, and I hope people are listening, because there's going to be we're going to have some tough conversations.
Okay.
So we'll have to see. Now, as you get older, it's like your dad. So we're kind of, you and I are kind of in a interesting predicament, because we have Mikey, who's growing up, and he's dealing with life changes as he's getting, becoming an adult, basically.
Right.
You have to, you're preparing to be an adult, and being an adult means doing stuff you normally, some things you don't like that you just have to do.
Yep.
Hate to say it, that's the way it is.
Like work, pay
Right.
bills.
But we're also dealing with another change,
Right.
which is your dad.
Oh yeah.
So your dad is retired.
Love you, Dad.
Now. Yeah. Barry, we love you. You're great. He's just the opposite. He just had a car accident.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yep, I didn't get hurt." And like the very next day, I will tell you, I can't believe.
No, I think it was 2 days. I think it was 2 days.
Was it 2 days?
Yeah.
That horse kicked his ass off of it.
Oh.
He walked up, slapped the horse in the face, and jumped right back on.
Yeah.
There was no. And you know what?
Yeah.
I really envy people like that.
Me too. Because I like.
When I had my accident, I was like, you drive for a little bit here. Your dad's like, nope, screw you. I'm driving.
He fell off the horse and got right back on. I don't know how he did it.
That's how people should be. That more people should be like
Yeah.
that. I wish I was. I try to be like that. I know I will have to take a minute. I have to, the type of person I am, I have to think about it and then go back through it. I have to go through, I have to analyze it, and then I jump back on the horse.
Right.
Because I don't want to jump back on that horse and have that horse kick me in the gut again. Okay? I want to make sure I have an understanding. I'm like, okay, if this horse kicks me again, me and this horse are fighting.
Yeah.
I will. You and me are going to go at it. Them there are fighting words. But your dad was like, "Nope, I've been down this rodeo. Let's go."
Yeah.
I like that. I like that people can do that.
I was like thoroughly like, I was just shocked. I mean, the way he was like, okay, I'm not going to slow down for this. And
Well, the reality is, it's two different. We're like I said, two different animals. We have somebody that's like, I'm on that horse, let's go, and then Mikey, you're even afraid to get on the horse to begin with.
well, he's getting better. He
is getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's at least petted the horse,
yeah.
right?
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and it's weird, but like I said, you'll get used to it and you'll get more comfortable, and then you'll be like, you won't want to stop driving. Hopefully, anyway.
So,
all right. Well, that kind of
takes care of our life changes, right?
it does, yeah.
So, now if you do like listening to us and you enjoy our show, I know you could always listen to us on Facebook, Instagram, or X. Or not listen to us. You could follow us and subscribe there. We're always posting stories on there. So
We are, yeah, and you can listen to us on iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Samsung, or any of your favorite podcast players.
And if you want to listen and use your eyeballs, you can go to YouTube, Rumble, and I think we're on TikTok as well. We have our shorts there as well.
We do, yep. So anywhere you can find us, we're there.
So for our wrap up here for the changes, I think they're both good and bad.
Yeah, and that's it's part of life, unfortunately.
I'm not opposed to changes. I'm opposed to stupidity.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm okay with change. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with a lot of stuff. My problem is you don't. That would be like someone going back in and saying, you know what? I bet you I could repaint the Mona Lisa and do better.
No.
You may listen. You may,
or you may try.
You may try. You may think that you did better. I will tell you what you're going to end up being is you're going to have something different.
Yep, exactly.
And now, if everybody went out and painted the Mona Lisa, and everybody did the exact same job and are improved on the better one, why do we have the old one? You see, sometimes you need to just say, leave shit alone.
Exactly. Or let it be.
Let it be. Like, menus at Chili's, for example.
Yeah.
You could have left the 2 for $20 and raised the price and changed it. You could have made a change and you could have said 2 for $25, 2 for $27. You could have made a change that wasn't stupid.
Exactly.
So
bring back the 2 for 30. I don't know.
Bring back the 2 for whatever, a reasonable price that you could do. Consult Applebee's. They might help you with this.
See how it's done.
See how it's done. And go from there. So, but I think that'll be a good show. I think we'll have more for the after show though.
We will. I just thought of a few things too, so.
All right.
Alrighty. Bye everybody.